This is Boss Seamstress, and I have 5 strategies for finding time to sew when you have a busy schedule. If you have children, toddlers to teenagers, household chores, cooking duties, and a part-time job, or a combination, these 5 strategies will solve some of your problems. Let's look at them. Number 1, sewing during nap time, quiet time, and bedtime. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about number 2, which is balancing household chores and part-time work. 3, keeping children occupied. And 4, optimal sewing skills for different times of the day. And last but not least, self-care, physical and mental. And I'll talk about those. So first, sewing during nap, bed, quiet time. The first thing we want to do is we do not want to use a noisy sewing machine at that time. And what we do want to do is we want to work with hand stitching projects, basically. So in the description below, there is a link to a list of hand sewing techniques and what they're used for and how to make the stitch. For example, a blanky blank stitch is a loose and temporary stitch for, say, basting or gathering. These are stitches that you're not going to use in the future. You're using these stitches in terms of helping to put the garment together before you put the final stitches on them. Now, another example would be the back stitch. The back stitch is a very, very strong stitch, and those stitches hold garments together very well. For instance, a sewing machine is not totally needed to sew. Just think about it. Do you know Coco Chanel? Well, if you do, you'll know that she started sewing. There were not a lot of fancy equipment. And back in the day, beautiful, intricate garments were made by hand with no sewing machine. So, let's not get it twisted that you have to have a sewing machine to get things done on certain times. Okay, so next we're going to look at balancing household chores and part-time work. So, who am I to tell you what to learn on your sewing skill journey? For instance, how many times have you been in a class and as the course is going along, how many times have you said, why would I need to know this? I don't need to know this. I'm never going to do it. Or, I already know that. It's a waste of time. So, in the cohort, in its pilot, in the pilot cohort, which is a membership group, it's a 20 member cohort, and it is 8 weeks long. Okay, let's say there is a list of there's a list of skills that you can learn. I say can because for 8 weeks, there are 8 weeks pre-prepared planning for you to understand and learn some of the skills of sewing that you're going to need. However, if your comments in the next few videos tell me that you want to learn this or you want to learn that, that will be in the 8-week collab or the 8-week pilot. And so the pilot is tailored to what you want to learn, what you want to see, what you want to do. And I will be able to see you face to face, and you can show me what you're doing or what you want to do. And I can show you what I'm doing. And if I want to show you how to do something, I will let you see me. And it is because you wanted to see it, not a predetermined course that you're not interested in. You could be a designer who's interested in making samples. And if there are 3 different samples that you want to make, you don't need, let's say, if they all have blouses, and I'm teaching ruffles and piping, then for 8 weeks, you're not getting what you want. So if you want to learn blouses for sleeves and dresses below the knees and on the neck or whatever, then you can get what you want. Okay? And if enough of you say that you want so many different things, then the entire pilot will be designed just for you. Okay? Thank you. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to look into the description for more information. Okay, let's finish finding time to sew. Now, we're looking at number 2, which is balancing household chores, children, and a part-time job. So, one of the main ingredients is bursts of time, or small bursts of time. 15 to 20-minute windows will work very well. Now let's look at that. Will make you have productive sewing sessions, 15 to 20 minutes. And one of the things you can do to take advantage is nap time. When it's nap time, you can take that time to hand sew or to draft patterns if you create your own patterns, to cut out patterns if you don't. Also at work, at lunchtime, or at breaks. I don't know how long breaks can be, but if you get a 30-minute break, then you can find a productive sewing session there. Or if you have a longer lunch, you can take half of that for creative sewing at that time. Now, children are occupied and when they're busy, and we'll talk about activity kits for children. And I have a link in in the description plenty of activities that children can do to keep them busy for at least 15 to 20 minutes in those small time intervals. Also, there is a schedule of activities for children broken down from little children to the medium-sized children to your older children, like 12 teenagers. So, that being said, another thing you can do is to prioritize and plan what's your next move going to be in terms of sewing. So, a long time ago, I wrote basically it was a speech, and it turned into a workshop for planning and procrastination. And so I'll leave a link to that information in the description as well. And I think it's called, what are you, I think it's called, are you doing things right or doing the right things? They're not the same. So look for that in the link, and you want to have a flexible workspace. So you want to organize things to be in categories. Things that are similar should be near each other. And you always want to have your sewing machine and ironing board near each other. Okay, so next we're going to look at keeping children occupied, because there are 15 to 20 minutes of time that can be used, because the children, they don't stay busy for a long time. So 15 to 20 minutes intervals are kind of a good time frame. So again, there is a list of activities for children in the link below, about 20 or 30 activities that will keep children busy for a short amount of time, whether it's exercise videos, Play-Doh, whatever. There is a list of ideas. So, and another thing for older children, you can involve them in a particular sewing task based on age appropriability. So, we'll look at number 4, optimizing sewing skills for different times of the day. And I spoke on this a little bit earlier, but say for in the morning. It's usually the quiet time, and what we can do in the morning can draft, pattern, or drape your mannequin, or you can cut out the pattern that you bought. You don't draft or drape, and those are activities that are kind of quiet. Also, the skill of cutting out your fabric. That's another thing that can be done in the morning. After you cut out your pattern, then you can cut out your fabric, and you want to focus on precision activities. And these are precision activities because if something is not draped right, something is not cut right, then the entire project may come out wrong or lopsided or just in appropriate for your lovely professional end product. So in the afternoon, everything's noisy, so that's the time to use the sewing machine. Especially the kids are up and they are moving around, they're into their activities, or they're gone to school, they're older, and maybe you have set up play dates and they're gone there. So kind of get the gist. So in the evening, again, things are calming down after all your chores and sewing again. And I want to let you know, did I say before, that there is a list of hand stitches in the description below. It shows you the stitches, what they do, what they're for, and how they're made. So that's a great skill to have. Next, pressing. Pressing is a good skill to use in the evening, and so the next morning, everything that you want to sew together will be pressed already. Pressing is a very important part, or a very important skill in sewing. And planning the next day, that's very important. And I may mention this again before I go, but there is a procrastination and planning program that I wrote. And I think I put it into an article form for you to look at in the description. And it really helps speed things along the day when you have plans and goals for things. So finally, I just want to talk about self-care, because these days we don't think about our own physical and our own mental health, because we are doing so much for ourselves, our families, everyone else. So we need to take time to rest, time to relax, time to laugh. If you comedies or stand up or just funny movies, whatever makes you laugh, please do that a little bit every day. Okay? Next, mental health. Basically, what I want to say about that is learn to reschedule. Say, we want to keep from being burnt out. So what we want to do is we want to organize our time, like I said before. And let's say that you're supposed to have something start at 3 o'clock. And things are running a little behind. And so what's going to happen if things start at 3:30? Nothing. You'll be a little less stressed, and things will move on. Even though it's not 3 o'clock and it's 3:30. Don't stress. Okay, if you have a project and you didn't finish it, and it's a self-imposed project too, you said, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work on this every day for a week, and say you don't work on it any days of this week, and you're like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I never do what I say I'm going to do. Stop. Tell yourself, okay, let's reschedule this for next week, and we will try this again, right? And you make a little deal with yourself, and we're going to try that again, okay? No problem. So, I love you. Don't even worry, okay? So, I want you to just remember that to involve your children whenever you can. Still a little time, little sewing sessions, 15-20 minutes. Just remember, can find those precious moments to sew. So enjoy sewing. Have a blessed one. Thank you.